all the way back to at least 1960 is when I could find a record of 4 classifications in North Carolina. A lot has changed in the United States since, and in the state of North Carolina, since Kennedy was president.
We've increased the number of high schools there are. So it's just like anything else. Sometimes you have to change with the times.
The new model will be based solely on average daily membership or number of kids in each school to divide up the classifications.
Frustration, that angst comes from disparity between the bigger and the smaller schools in terms of enrollment in that conference or in that class.
There's a big difference between 530 and you go to some 1A high schools that drop as low as 200 and you want them to compete at the same playing field. I would say in a 1A high school, every 50 students, you're going to pull 15 to 25 athletes out of those 50 kids. So 50 kids at a small school makes a big difference.
The speculation is there will be 7 classes. How many classes and how to divide it all out is still to be determined. Mr. Grantham explains it will likely be a committee process.
The member schools select the realignment committees. In past realignments, that realignment committee is the group that decides how the schools are split into the classifications and then how the conferences are created.
The classifications are not set in stone. It's an ever-changing model with growth.
You couldn't get a consensus on what the right number of classes was. And we still don't have consensus, I don't believe, today, even though the bylaw passed. There would always be a method of how the number of classifications would change going forward.
There may be another charter school that pops up by then. Somebody may lose 50 or 60 kids. Somebody may gain, you don't know. ADMs are going to change. So what the cutoff number is, what the starting point is, you don't know.
Like in all change, it can also have consequences. They're hoping the pros outweigh the cons.
I can tell you that realignment is not simply as simple as, well, here's the ADM from each school, and we pop those bad boys in and we spit them out.
Certain sports, you may not be able to fill as many teams. For example, we just picked up women's soccer. There's not many 1A high schools with women's soccer. So if you have a playoff game, instead of being able to go a couple hours, you might have to drive 3.5 and then meet in the middle and play the neutral side.